Heat training camp set to start in 10 days. Dwyane Wade remains undecided on his return. The 12-time All-Star, non-committal since the end of last season. Ira Winderman of the Sun Sentinel, you know he will always try to get the answer. And when he asked what was factoring into Dwyane's decision, the quote was, "A lot goes into it. We've kind of talked about it over the course of my career. You guys can play the tape back, hear the same answers over and over again, but a lot goes into it." So they asked him if the money was a factor last night. He said, talk to my agent.
That's a good answer.
I believe it's sort of, would the Heat offer him the 5 million point something exception versus the 2 point something million exception?
Give D-Wade the money, please. Just
but I mean, do you think that's what it's about?
I think it's about the organization. He's the greatest player in Heat history. I mean, this is a guy who you're going to praise for years and years to come. He brought championships there. He's the greatest player in that uniform all time. He deserves a farewell tour. You have to give, this is, I mean, come on. You're going to want him to come back years later, do appearances, show up to the top playoff
years later. They're going to have him, right? They're going to work it immediately.
I'm just saying after he retires, though. I mean,
Zoe comes to work every day.
Greatest player ever.
Right?
I mean, come on.
Do you think it's about
some respect on his name.
I think, so if you're Dwyane Wade, it's not just the respect of I'm the best player in franchise history, it's that they came to him multiple times in his career asking
him to take less,
leave a little money
including
on the table.
when he eventually left for Chicago. The money was a factor, and not even so much as the actual dollars, but like, hey, man.
That I got to fight for
at some point, and they just given like a max to Hassan Whiteside, right?
Yeah.
And he was like,
come on.
But the flip side of this is the Miami Heat right now, they're a middling East playoff team at best, right? They're not going to, we talk about Boston and Toronto, they're not in that conversation, right? They're going to be a taxpayer, right? So are you going to pay this guy to go further into the tax for a team that's not going to win a whole lot of games? And then the big difference between that $5 million you're talking about and the veteran minimum, which is $2 million, is that the Heat would only be on the hook for a few $100,000 of that $2 million. The league pays the rest when it's a little rule so that veteran players don't get left behind.
Right.
You say if you pay a veteran of 10 plus years minimum, you only actually pay them what a second-year player would make at minimum. The league puts up the bill for the rest of it. So it makes a huge monetary difference for the Miami Heat as to whether they give him that smaller amount versus, it's not $3 million, I guess is what I'm saying, as it would seem on the outside.
that's a good point, but
shouldn't even matter.
Well, I was going to say,
hey, I know.
These figures shouldn't even be discussed.
To Paul's point, I would say this: if they are not going to be an elite playoff team, if you don't feel this is a team competing for a championship this year, and Pat Riley, excuse me, but you know that the draw is Dwyane Wade. You have 82 games to sell.
Can we make that all up on merchandise, ticket sales?
I would spend my money, even extra tax money on Dwyane Wade, and maybe save somewhere else.
Can we play a little game called Unsubstantiated Rumors?
Okay, go.
I also, as I understand it, it's not just the money, it's how many years.
Okay.
He's looking for more than 1 year.
I understand.
Unsubstantiated rumor. I'm going to put that out there. Unsubstantiated.
No aggregation. But I mean, it's interesting. I would argue, I would be on Paul's side of just, hey, not whatever he wants, but close, right?
I mean, look, I got to stick up for the front office guys, man. I can't bash front office guys all the time. I got to stick up every once in a while. I'm sticking up for Andy.
And they have a great front office. We both think Andy does a great job,
Andy does an amazing job.
But it's just, it's a tough
They want him back. They just, you know, like.
They made the loyalty call last time, and look what happened. So maybe you make it on this side.